What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Another day, another video. And today we are doing like a tournament report talking about DDD K9, the deck that I'm currently using and how great it is, how much I enjoy it, and also how much y'all enjoy it. I would have never thought this cool little concept I came up with would have so many people like reach out to me and be like, "Yo, this is really cool. This is really sick. Like I haven't had this much fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh in a long time." And that really means a lot, you know? I'm just a dude that makes videos on his kitchen island and sometimes people resonate with certain decks that I make and certain combos and everything like that. So, it's really cool. So, actually, this time around, I have notes, talking points, things to talk about. So since the deck's conception and all the combo videos and everything, and people have been reaching out, these are the normal questions that I'm usually asked. Why only one Noroi? Why not more K9 engine? Why not more DDD engine? What are your siding patterns? Do you have issues with bricking? Changes I would make going forward, and the current hardest matchups. So I'm going to talk about this after we do like a quick little updated profile for what I'm using. So I went to locals yesterday, and if you know, I really don't get a chance to go to locals as much as I'd like to. So most of my testing is literally just comboing by myself, coming up with like different scenarios. Like if I get into Beeroot here, what do I do? If I get Ash Blossomed in this situation, what do I do? And honestly, coming from DDD K9 going into this, I got both of my regional like tops, I guess, invites playing DDD K9 with absolutely really no in-person practice. And it was just all theory. It was all testing. So basically I'm taking the same concept with this. And when I go to Pittsburgh, it's just going to be that, you know? But locals was good yesterday. My one loss was pretty much unwinnable. There was nothing I could do. They went first. I opened no hand traps. I broke the board as much as I could have, but they just had too much gas. It was Dracotail Dragonmaid. So the synergy with that deck is ridiculous. I would have never thought. But game two, they ended up opening Fua, Perulia, Droll, and then I was just like, I can't do anything, dude. You're the main character. You win. So other than that, I won everything else. Had a good time, and yeah. So let's just run through it real quick. Also, finally, I have my 3 Starlights. So nice. All right, so the deck is 40 cards. It's gonna be 3 Doom Queen Machinex, 3 Kepler, a double Surveyor, 1 Ragnarok, 1 Copernicus, 1 Griffin, 1 Lance Soldier, 1 Necro Slime, and then it's going to be triple Contract with the Gate, and 1 Dark Contract with the Zero King. So this ratio, in my opinion, for how I like to play, is pretty much the bare bones of what you need to actually do the K9 combo, along with having enough DDD cards to do DDD things if you don't open the combo. So like Scale Surveyor is an extender, Griffin is an extender. So it's like you'll always have an opportunity to have like 2 bodies on board to at least get to the Gilgamesh, along with like your contracts to help you get there. So I feel like this is like the bare bones. You can cut Scale Surveyor down to 1, but if you open Scale Surveyor in the K9 combo, then you kind of lock yourself out of like one of the coolest lines that you can do. And it's basically like you send Scale Surveyor off the King Tail after you've set the Queen and the Ragnarok to bounce the Queen back to your hand to replay it. So then it activates and you can, do the combo from there. That's why I'm playing 2. You can cut down if you want to dice roll and, hope you don't draw it. But again, this is a 40 card list, so the possibility of you drawing it, it's up there. It happened to me. But I had one in deck, so still play the game. For the Canine Engine, it is 10 cards. It's 1 Naroi, triple Azuna, 1 Lupus, triple Jokul, 1 Lantern, and 1 Case. Now, I really like this ratio. I know a lot of people have asked, how come you don't up the count of Naroi? Since it is a 1-card combo, why don't you just go all in on 1 Naroi? Because you don't want to draw multiple Naroi going second. Like, it sucks. I don't know what else to tell you. This is a still very combo heavy deck, so you need pieces. And yes, you have the opportunity, you have the know-it-all to like do the 1-card combo. But if they Veiler your Naroi, you just wasted your normal summon, and now you have to hope that you had extender. Like if you open like a queen, so you can get to the dark contract with the king or whatever, or if you open like, I think that's really it. Like that's what you would have to open. And unfortunately, like wasting your normal summon for a Naroi with no actual backup is kind of crappy, kind of scary, but it does happen sometimes. Like you can combo off with it. So yeah, that's the main reason I only play 1 Naroi, and I feel you should play 1 Naroi too if you're playing this. Also playing 1 Case. Again, same concept-ish. Case is not full 1-card combo. It is 1.5 card combo. So if you open Case with any DDD monster, gets you to the full board with Ripper. So you can kind of get there. But the main reason that I'm not playing multiple Case is because we're playing DDD, and we're going to have 2 scales set. We're going to have either 1 or 2 of the dark contracts still live normally. So we only have 1 more space, and you don't want to lock yourself out just by having Case on board for no reason if you don't have the Naroi to send it away. So that's really the main reasonings for my ratios, you know? So hopefully that helps. And then for Nun Engine, we are playing triple Ash Blossom, triple Fua, double Droll, double Bell, 1 for 1, 1 triple tack, and 1 Called by the Grave. So, reasonings behind these. I just wanted a good catch-all. I wanted something that would be good in any matchup, really. Like, Fua is generically just good. Like, if you draw this going second against Yummy, Mitsu, K9, like anything, Dracotail, like it's going to net you at least 1, or it's going to eat a Ash, and then it's going to allow you to play during your turn. Ash Blossom, again, it's a catch-all. Ash Blossom, you play combo deck. You need to hit the Fua. Some people are playing like Gammas now, Deltas, all that. So Ash Blossom, solid, good card. Double Droll, double Ghost Bell. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to fully commit to first. Ooh, excuse me. So I just played double of each, and it works. It comes up. Going into Pittsburgh, I feel like I'll have to fully commit to one of them. I'm just not sure which one, depending on what I'm actually afraid of. Because Droll can kind of stop Mitsu, but if you're playing Mitsu Yummy, this doesn't do as much as it could. Ghost Spell is really good because you can stop like Prayer. You can stop the Yummy Quick Play spell to like do stuff from Grave. So I think that might be the ratio I'm staying with, but I'm playing around with Nibiru as well because Nibiru is really good, but Nibiru is kind of like iffy for me. So this is what I'm at currently. 1 for 1 is a really good extender. So when I was talking about like if you open like the Naroi and you have no way to extend, 1 for 1 is another way for you to do that. So like if you open 1 for 1 with like a dead hand trap or something like that, you can Naroi attempt to use effect. If it gets negated, then you can just go 1 for 1 into the Kepler and then go combo from there. So kind of gets you there safely. And for triple attack and called by, we're playing K9. So we're hoping that our opponent activates a monster effect. So if we're in that theory of thinking that way, triple attack is just a natural, first or second card. It can help you break boards. And also, like, we're a combo deck. So if we need a draw, we can draw. We can have it. If we have everything already in our hand, we can look at our opponent's hand and go from there. So let's say like your opponent does something in main phase. I'm like, okay, cool. We have Noroi in hand, but since they already did something in main phase, we don't have to play around the fact that, okay, maybe they have effect failure. We can just go triple attack, look at their hand, and be like, okay, they have no other interruption. I can safely summon my Noroi. And then that's the same concept with called by. So if you can open like Noroi with called by, then the only thing you're really worried about is either impulse or imperm. And if they have those, then they're playing like Malice, Mitsu, DDD, So yeah, that's my reasoning for that. And then let's go through extra deck. So extra deck, there is one flex spot that you can change, and I'll tell you when we get there. For synchros, it's Clovis, Siegfried. For XYZs, it's Solomon, Caesar, Valon. This is the flex spot, so I'll put this up here. One Ripper, double King Tail for the combo. Then we have High Wave King, Deuce Machinex. Then for fusions, we have Genghis, Crisis. Then we have the double Gilga and Ragna. So your one flex spot is going to be the Valon. Now, what can you put instead of the Valon? I've been tossing around the idea of playing Typhon. So if you can go like, if you only open the Lupus and you're playing against Mitsurugi, you can go like, before they commit the big guy, the 3000 guy that negates, you can summon out your Lupus and then turn that into a Typhon. So that way, they're not attacking you this turn, and they're not going to, they can't Regeki your field because you have Typhon on board. So kind of gives you like a little insulation going into like your turn. If this is game one, they went first and you're going second. So that's one thing you can do. The Valon really hasn't came up for me as much as I think it would. It is cool to have that little interruption to like Book of Moon something. But everything is such a quick effect now that it's hard for it to actually gain like maximum value. So that's like the one card you can swap out. Side deck is still up in the air. It's going to be triple Perulia, double Meows, triple attack, Lightning Storm, Dark Ruler, Duster, and then siding the Dark Contract, and then with Eradicator, Debarrier, and triple Impulse. So going second after winning game one, I side out, depending on the matchup, all of the K9 cards. That gives me 10 slots. So if I'm going second, I usually put in like the impulses, and I'll put in like these guys right here. And then depending on the matchup, we can either do like the Perulias. So this right here is going to be 10 cards. So depending on what you're playing against, then, you just want to see your extra like interruption, your extra hand traps, because we're not playing that many non-engine because it is a 40 card deck. So hopefully we open at least one or two, but going second, we want to take out like the Jokel, want to take out the Lantern, the Noroi, the Case. If you wanted to, you can leave in the Azuna and the Lupus, but I think like going like forward, I think this is like a solid thing. And if you're going first after siding, then you put these guys in. And then you take out the, what's it called? The Fuas. So like if you can figure out a way to put like these in, then, the main concern whenever I'm going going first and my opponent's going second after siding is just multiple blowouts, because our deck doesn't have multiple negation. Like it has one negation with the Siegfried, but most of my like losses have been they open Duster plus Lightning Storm or Regeki plus another board breaker. So if we just side in Eradicator and call spell, we can get rid of all of the power spells that we're scared of. So that's my thought process behind this. And it also gives you hand knowledge as well. So I like this. Still up in the air, still thinking about what I want to do with this. Meowls in theory is good just because current meta, Yummy, Mitsu, summon from the graveyard. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Impulse, I think, is going to be staying in the side. It's just too good to not use. Being able to hit like Nibiru, being able to hit like anything really. Against Dracotail, you can hit the 5 mana. Against the ignorant combo with the artifact stuff, you can just impulse the princess, and then you don't have to worry about losing automatically without even playing the game. But yeah, that's my deck. Let's see what else we got on the talking points. Let's see. Why only one Roy? I talked about that. Why not more K9 or DDD? All right, so I think that we have a really good balance of, the how the engines can bridge. They can bridge, but you have to have almost, I'm not going to say perfect like luck when it happens, but you don't want to lean on it. So we're playing enough DDD cards to where we can literally just play the game normally with the DDD. So I know some people are like thinking about cutting Griffin. I went ahead and cut the Ouroboros or Orthoros, whatever it's called, and because it was a brick, like you don't need it, but you do need extenders. So you do need like normal summon Kepler. If Kepler gets negated, you need follow up. You need an extra body, and that's where like the Griffin can come in, and that's when the Scale Surveyor can come in because they can summon themselves out, and that gets you to your scales. So that's what you need. You always want to get to scales as fast as possible. Sliding patterns, I kind of talked about that. Issues of bricking. Again, this is why we don't fully commit to one side or the other. I've seen some people's builds where they fully commit to the K9 stuff and they play like such a minimal engine of DDD, and I'm like, it's not gonna work because again, going second, if you open a bunch of like Noroi or you open like double Lantern or Lantern plus Noroi, like you're not gonna get to where you want to go and you're just gonna lose. So you're just throwing a game away. So I think it's a good, nice little homeostasis of where we're at on that. Changes I'd make going forward. Main deck wise, I think I'm pretty happy with this at the moment. I might have to fully commit to the Droll or the Bell, but other than that, pretty cool. One idea I'm tossing around in my brain is actually taking out the Valon and finding a way to put 3 Super Poly in here and putting in a Mud Dragon just to have better going second power, and then siding like the Garura and probably another target. But pretty good, Super Poly is really popular this format. Excuse me, I've been on it for like the longest. Hardest matchups. Hardest matchups are going to be, I'm gonna say, like non-engine heavy Yummy, because they can just stop you doing everything and they can combo off with such minimal cards. Mitsu isn't that hard to beat because the normal combo ends on like Siegfried with Ripper, with Wave King Caesar, with Ragnarok, and with a Machinex that can take at least 2 times. So you can kind of play around Mitsu. You can kind of not have to worry about it, but it's just a bunch of non-engine, especially if they're on breakers. Unfortunate. You can't really do much about that. And also, sometimes you're just going to lose to yourself. There is the possibility of bricking because we are introducing an engine that does gel, because we do have a combo that can get us to multiple king tails. But unfortunately, like sometimes you're gonna open like a Ragnarok with 2 hand traps, a case, and like maybe a Noroi or something, and then they stop the Noroi, or they stop like the Jokel you add, or they stop the case, and now you're just like kind of SOL. So, but with all that being said, I still really enjoy this deck. It's really, really fun. Um, I think this is going to be my Pittsburgh choice just because it catches a lot of people off guard. You know, it's such a cool deck. And yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below. Don't forget that we are doing the 2000 sub giveaway, which is going to be the low rarity Dracotail core. So that's kind of sick. All you have to do is be subscribed. And once we hit 2K, I'll make a post. Everyone comments on it. Then after X amount of time, I'll close the post. And then everyone that commented on it that is a sub would get entered into a raffle. And then we'll do the whole shebang. And then I'll ship it out to you just for, you know, supporting the guy, supporting me. But what else, man? What else can we talk about? Moving forward, I'm gonna do some more box openings because I like doing that. That's fun. That's how this channel actually started. I used to do box openings for like Digimon, Weiss Schwartz, like everything. I did box openings for everything and I really enjoyed it and I want to get back to it. So I actually just posted a One Piece box opening. I was able to get a box of PRB2 for retail from my local that I went to play at yesterday, which is Heroes Collectibles out in here in Houston. You know, give them a little shout out. But yeah, guys, that's really it. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I appreciate y'all. I guess the next video will be just some test hands, show you my thought process with our starting 5. But I appreciate y'all. See, look at that, man. How'd y'all like the talking points? I love y'all. Later. Peace.